And I suspect that there are a number of people in your lives that are veterans that you don't know about, that if you actually sat down and talked to them, it would be a really interesting and very, very insightful conversation in what they did in life in general. Because of the attributes of most of the vast amount of veterans, 24 million approximately in the United States today, are very quiet and modest about their service. And if you ask them, they'll talk about their peers, their friends, but there's a lot that they've seen, men and women. I think that that, along with the thank yous that you've heard, would go a long way to really, really motivating them. And when I talk veterans, I don't mean folks just from the Second World War, the Korean War, or Vietnam. It's today. You got veterans out there that are just a few years older than you are, that have been seen threat and stress, and in some cases death right up front. And also, when we talk about Veterans Day, as I look at the student body here, all right, we're talking about an American holiday that was born out of the Commonwealth after the First World War. But I see a number of international students here as well. And you have your own. You have your own veterans. And for whatever the cause that your country fought for, honor them too. Because they fought for their nation, they supported their nation, and here we are right now in a group, the United States, a community of nations, as represented by you all, the students. Just a few things. This is President Obama basically commemorated Veterans Day last week. It's the 56th. President Eisenhower enacted it in 1954 after the Korean War. As you all know, think 11. I'm sure you've had this in your international history class. 11th day, 11th week, 11th month, 11 November 1918, Armistice Day. The war to end all wars had ended, the Great War. Countries went in a little bit arrogantly, 16 million dead and countless millions wounded. What happened? I wear today a poppy. You've probably heard the term Poppy Day. It started with the Canadians and British and Commonwealth. These poppies came out of Flanders Field, a poem by Don McHugh, a Canadian officer in 1915. And you will read about it probably on Memorial Day, commemorating the dead, those who've sacrificed. But it actually comes out of this period leading into first Armistice Day, that turned to Remembrance Day, and then Poppy Day, and here in the United States as of 1954 Veterans Day. Just a few data points. Just pick up my little card here. Approximately 24 million veterans. 1.8 million are women. So when we talk about veterans, it's not just the guys. All right? There have been a lot of sacrifice. Women have Philippines during World War II, MASH units in Korea, Vietnam, and certainly today have sacrificed. And then, of course, other data points. There are right now 3 million approximately veterans receiving disability for various wounds over the years. 3 million. 40,000 today wounded from Iraq and Afghanistan. 1,000 of them are amputees. A data point, when we talk about, being a veteran, there are thousands and thousands of them that are homeless. And a good percentage of those homeless are Vietnam veterans. So when we think about Veterans Day, think about also the home front and those families that have had to support their loved ones or support the house next door who has lost a loved one in combat. So there are a lot of things that come out and trickle out of Veterans Day. So I think I don't want to talk that much, but right now, and And whatever the number is, there are hundreds dying every day. And by 2020, they will be about gone. I so wish when I was a student your age, growing up in late 50s, 60s, early 70s, that I'd gone and talked to the veterans from the First World War, that the last one just died recently, let alone the Second World War, and they're all part of our society. They were the dads and some moms and grandparents, and I really didn't. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to reach out and as a minimum thank them, and then talk to them. And talk to them about their friends and their experiences and where they've been. And some will, and some will be quiet. Very few are going to tell you heroic war stories, because that's not what it's all about. War is hell. It has to be done sometime, but none of us that are serious about it enjoy it. You need to know that, especially about the people in uniform. So just thank them. And I think that is I think the recurring theme here. We are a nation at war right now in the United States. And I appreciate the fact that you are here supporting us from the home front. And I think I'll stop there. Once again, Dr. Zoom, thank you for the honor to speak to you all. You are the future. You are the future. Service matters in our country and whatever country you're from. 30 years ago, when I joined the Army in 1980, I hadn't a clue that I would be in the Army for 30 years. I thought I was only in for 3. And when I was in high school, I didn't think I was ever going to be in the military. It was the farthest thing from my imagination. So life has its various courses and everything else. So again, thank the veterans. Think of them on Veterans Day, and I salute you, if you will, as the future of our nation and your nations. And it was an honor to get up and speak.